Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So for this video, I will cover lab 4 in week 5 activities, okay? Under week 5 activities. So if you go through the first part previously, you can see there are at least 7 activities include another one additional for reporting, right? For the first 3 tasks of lab in week 5 cover Windows-based enumeration. Okay, for this lab 4 or task 4 until task 7, okay, I will cover Linux-based enumeration. For the first part here, only covering the basic of information, right? The Linux-based information. For this lab or this task, you need to, for me, I'm using my Kali. Okay, and then later there are some point where we need to use Metasploit, but by default I just using my Kali so that most of the file or most of the tools that we acquire, what are the services can be running on top of it. Kali. If let's say you have a target machine like Ubuntu, Fedora, you can use as well, but you run the command from Kali. But your target machine actually another Linux-based operating system. However, for this purpose, I just using Kali first, so that I don't require to add another Linux-based. Okay, first, for example, here, most of the time, pen tester will find or searching for the SUID binaries, and then this one more on the escalation privilege purpose. So if we know who are the root privilege, who are the root user, and has a group root privilege, then we can try to penetrate, try to compromise the account and take the account for our penetration testing purposes. Like I said before, in Windows, by default we are using administrator account or administrators group, where some of the users have assigned to that particular group. But here in Linux, we will try to find the root privilege users. And then we also try to find the vulnerable service running with the high privilege, and then user account, as well as the firewall rules. Last time in previous video, you'll see there are some firewall policy have set in my Windows 10, but the the firewall or host-based firewall in the Windows 10 have been disabled or switched off. But here you can try later. First of all, we'll go through the Linux version information. For example, here the name you can run also in your other Linux-based operating system. For this machine, we are using Linux kernel 6.18.2 for Kali. And then the version of this Linux or Kali actually 2026 to 0225. That's meaning release in February 2025, February 2026. Okay, next, then try, then screenshot your name, and so we'll try to find the release information. OSP. Okay. So you can see here the version 2026.1. And then the code name Kali rolling. So for your Ubuntu, for example, they have different version. Ubuntu, they have 22, 20, 22, 24, 36 for something, and then they have the name here, right? But for Kali, they are using years. Okay, this is 2026.1. Depend on your Linux-based operating system. And then you see here, like ID like Debian. That's mean they are using the Debian-based kernel or group UI user interface. Next, this is the critical part where try to find the set user ID on execution, where the program run with owner privilege, so that not the user who ran it. So in correct one, maybe you can find here permission, find permission A equal to S. This is the correct one. This will give more accurate services or this user, okay, user ID that running specific application. For example, this is get password, the amount, and so on, right? So next, we will find the running services. This look like what we run in our Windows last time, right? Check the running service. Similarly, like here, we are checking the running service currently, but maybe the particular service can be exploited. Okay. Then you need to screenshot of the service. And next, you can list out all the users so that you can see which user we can try to compromise. So the format here, you see username and password itself and user ID, group ID, description, home shell. For example, here I create one user using my name, password. This is the user ID, this is group ID. Okay. And this is the description of mine. And then this is the home folder. So when I log in, I will directly to go to this particular default folder. And then the shell will be running inside this directory. Okay, this is the information. Similarly, other information like specific user for database, Postgres, SQL, right, and so on. So they will see like this. You can try to find what are the information here. So, example here, this is the description. From description, so you can see, okay, this is the admin, the database admin, right? The database admin. So we can try to find the group, the user ID and group ID. And the most difficult, the most crucial part actually, the root. Can find the root ID. Okay. Okay. Oh, too long, right? It's okay. Is it possible to use bread? Hmm. You can see here. This is the root info. For the root, you can see this is the password. Okay, this is user ID. User ID. What we mean by this is the highest level privilege, low level access. Okay, and then this is the description. Then this is the home. Okay, the home of root directory. And then this is the shell when they running the command. Okay, is that the thing? Other than that, you can check also number 5, the IP table. IP table is the firewall services in Linux. Some of them using NFW, and there's the modern one, maybe they're using different third-party firewall space. For this one, okay, there are no policy. Service is there, right? The table service is there. So you can set the service, for example, the rules. So you can enable, for example, specific services to be in and out, inbound and outbound. That's the thing. Okay, you can fine. Okay, this is the another part for lab 5. So for this SNMP remote enumeration, you're also running in Kali, where I will install and map. Okay, yeah. So first of all, you can check is it any nmap, not nmap, SNMP. You can use nmap to check if the SNMP folder or SNMP services have been enabled or installed or not. So SNMP, as I mentioned before, actually part of the network management protocol where they will select the system or the network uh, devices like routers, switches, information so that they can manage properly in terms of authenticate the devices in internal network or not. Right? This is the important part. And SNMP also can be used for log monitoring as well using MIB or um, management information base. This one is MIB. Okay, so for example here, I want to check. This is my Kali, right? So Kali, sorry. So I need to check the port number 1161 for SNMP process. So the service is there, but it's filtered, not uh openly enabled, filtered. So for this particular service, and then if let's say the install, you can install as well. By try to install one more time for SNMP walk. Okay, and click install SNMP, SNMP, SNMP. In reality, most of the time, SNMP will be used by the network devices, I said before. Then, no need to install because I already have it. So for this one, I try to check or to queries, to make any queries with SNMP walk. Public to check is it my Kali enabled it or not, right? Whether they are enabled in different interface. For this interface, or For example, this interface, you can see the host only interface, right? 109. Is it available? Try to see. No response. Okay. Maybe I can see my IP. Look back 127, and then I have also broadcast the net and 80. The third one doesn't work, so maybe I can try to find 10. I'm sure. Only the look back can be lah, but maybe just try the net or address. Okay, no response. Okay. So meaning that they not openly for this particular port. So you can so for this one, filtered, respond. Okay. This is the internal one. We try to find from our look back if IP. So no response. Okay. I know this is because of the firewall. Okay. The firewall filtered. Okay. Maybe I can try to see how I can enable or I can allow the firewall. Can try enable. Normally, this is the task. Okay, the task of pen tester. Normally, you can not just directly get the info. You can try an error because there are some. Sometimes we did not aware that particular service using a specific command and so on. For example, I want to check system sudo systemctl status SNMP. Okay, inactive. Okay, inactive disable loaded. Okay, maybe I can that services connects. See status now running. Okay, active already. SNMP. We can run again. This one. Sorry. That time, don't worry, but you can try an error to see how no response, no problem. Okay, now you can see the service is there, right? And then the information management base is there as well. Meaning that you can get the information from the SNMP services. Okay, maybe I can click clear. Oh, sorry. So one more time. You can see there are information based on the value here, right? So from the beginning, you can see this is a string, Bina Kali, and so on, right? So all the information are based on the tree of the SNMP information, MIB information. See here, management architecture, MIB, modules, and this. So we can study back. this one. And then this is all the information, but for example here, port open, then walk through, discover the system name. Okay, discover system name via SNMP. So you can try to use this info. Okay, this code lah, or object ID, OID, OID 1.3.6.1.2.1.1.5. Okay, you can see here, this is the ID, ISO ID, string kali. That means the system name here, actually the kali. System kali. You can check, is it correct? Your host name is kali. Yeah, my host name is kali. Right. Where actually? From here lah, you can see. This is all the information, but if you only require specific information, you can try to find based on the object ID. Okay. Maybe later I will show again, because I think I showed previously about the packet tracer, right? Based on packet tracer as well. Because last time teaching also network management, there are more specific logs. There are many type of logs. There are specific info that we manage. So this is part of it, like MIB. Okay. So for you, try to find this one for host name and then the system uptime. Where is system uptime? You can see here. System uptime, you can find how to find the system uptime. Maybe later I will give you, for example, in the what we call packet tracer. Find OID system life uptime, for example. For system uptime, maybe the 1.3, right? For system uptime, you get this one, the 1.5, right? This one, the 1.3. This is for system uptime. You can see, is it correct? Oh, only 4 minutes. 4 minutes already the system is up. So meaning I just up this SNMP just in 4 minutes. That means your SNMP service only started in 4 minutes because previously it's inactive. And then I try activate it, start the service. Then you can see there are 4 minutes. Okay. And then running process if available. I can try it by yourself. About the running process. Is it any ID process name, then try different. Okay, you see here, I use this for process ID. Is it correct or not? 1.3.6.1.2.1.25 4242. This is the object ID for running process. End of MIB really. That means cannot detect the running process of SNMP. You can try an error. What are the information for two status, CPU usage, for example, 5.1.1.1. So cannot. So you can try. No. No information, like no problem. Because this not support until 25. So I tried to find about the because in our Kali we're not running many services, right? So that's the you can try to find, for example, for Java's process, is it any Java available? If you not, then try to find another, like here, just okay. Is any available info about the process? No, just put no lah, because we did not have um, flexible and so on. That find from here. Okay, other than that, maybe I can show you as well. Sample, okay, example of running process. Okay. From screen here. So I have taken traces back there where actually I can put server one server up. Then in the server you can go to desktop. There are MIP browser here. This is normal in network management. For example, we want to see some of the multi, okay. For example, to switch multi-layer MIB or router, you can try to find information. For example, here I want to uptime. This is the uptime. Is it same? The OID here, get the ID, but here we don't have anything lah because we're not running it. And that's right. So similarly, here you can see this is the object ID. And then you got interface, right? MIB. This is the object description 2.0. Name .5. System location .6. So you can go through and then try to give some information based on this specific info. But 25, they are only until here. So that's why you cannot get the information other than this. For example, last time we are running 25.1.1 available, but .1.5, then okay. For example here, .1.5.0. So will it not give you more 1.3? There are no ISO, right? 3, 6, 2, 1, 1.5. Okay, too much. Okay. .1, okay, .1, .6, for example. So you can see here, gotch 211. Where is it? 214. Now, done 211. Okay, if 7, it is 0. So this is the info that only available for the system, depend on the specific system. For example, previously we have dot three, dot five, right? Here, this is the system name. Dot two, this one, two OID equal to this info as well. Two, what else? The ID, right? This one, dot one. So you can copy the info from here if you want to. Dot one, dot zero. So you can see here. What mean by this? Open back the system description.